Tierney is a remarkable story to be able to tell. I think we all felt like, when we saw the dislocated kneecap that day that, there was no chance she was going to be getting back on the floor this season. But then to get the great news that nothing was torn and that it was going to be a rehab process, you credit Tierney and our staff and our support staff in terms of how well the collaboration was in terms of coming together. Obviously, Tierney had to put in the work, and she put it in from a rehab end, nutrition, what she needed to do, on the outside to be able to get herself back.
I really didn't know if I was going to be able to play today or like the time frame on which I was going to come back, but my progress in rehab was ahead of schedule. My knee tightens up where the scar tissue is from the ligament that was torn on my kneecap, and so just to get it going, because me sitting on the bench for, 10 minutes or so, it tightened back up, so that was just to loosen it up so it was fresh.
She's going to take Chloe. Give Chloe a blow, all right? Take Chloe.
And then when Coach B wanted to put me in, I was a little nervous at first just because the image that went through my head was my dislocated kneecap of how it happened and just the pain that I felt, but knowing that my rehab and this brace was there to protect it, it didn't really bother me after I went out and ran up and down the court a few times, and it all came back together.
Great story up to this point. She's back, starting to get herself back into practices and testing the waters tonight with some game minutes for her. And ahead of schedule, something that could have kept her out all season, could have been 6 weeks, and I think she's around 4 weeks right now. So again, I can't say enough in terms of the support staff and the staff that we have and what Tierney's done to put herself in this position. That feel, great job. The biggest thing for our team is we've never used it as an excuse or a crutch that 5 or 6 players are playing significant minutes of 30+ minutes a game.
One of the things people talked about is we weren't going to be that successful without a point guard this year, and then we lost another player and another player and then another, and just people just kept saying this team is not going to be anything, but I think we've proved people wrong and just showed them, despite the injuries, we're still a very special team with what we do have.
You can go two ways. You can throw rocks at it or you can embrace it. And our kids, I think they really embraced it. Your body might be telling you no, but you got to tell it yes. And we have kids that take that to heart.
Quick blow, and then you're going to get Tierney. Okay.
From the mental side of things, you don't have a choice. You have to be able to compete at the highest level and do it for extended minutes.
Good.
Looking at your personnel and seeing what fits them, and the practices that they've provided and that the girls have gone through have been very, very smart. They're efficient. And I think that's how you see the team play. And they play smart and they play efficient. And it's been really neat to see how they practice translate to how they play. But they also have probably the biggest hearts that you can see. These kids aren't going to give up, and that starts at the top with Coach Friesen. That goes all the way through everybody in this building that she touches, is that if you have a chance if you're willing to work hard. And these kids believe in that, and that's how they play.
Yes!
It's funny when we come out and play against teams who have like 15 players to our like 7 or 8, and it's basically like other teams have a whole army.
They know that if they bust it, whether it be for 10 minutes a game or they know they're going to play 40 minutes a game, they're going to lay it all out there, and they're going to play, and they're going to find a way to make it work, regardless of the number of bodies available.
Sometimes we can see that the other team's tired, and we're not tired because we're just so in shape and able to go up and down.
How much fun is that? How much fun is that when you compete like that? That's a hell of a job.
And I just think we're going out there and having fun and playing that we don't really think about being tired. We just want to win. So just wanting to win is more important than any source of tiredness. The person in the best shape on our team is probably Alyssa. She barely gets a sub. She's always in there. She's always going 110%.
Like, she can go forever. And I'm just like, okay, Liz, have fun.
I almost think AT is suffering from a cold. They gave her some Dayquil. Give her a quick break.
He don't look like she's
Box out
suffering.
here.
She doesn't look like she's suffering on the floor.
We all noticed it.
We actually had Under Armour here in preseason practices. They were testing out their E39 device, which kind of monitors heart rate and monitors kind of exercise intensity. And we chose 3 or 4 of them to wear it during practice, and she was one of them. And then we could sit there during practice on our iPhones, and we could watch, you know, the biofeedbacks from them. You know, we were getting a lot of feedback on their information, you know, in terms of heart rate and their ability to recover. And AT's was one of the most special ones because she could perform at a very high intensity, and then they would take her out of the drill, and she would go back down very quickly in terms of heart rate. Which was telling us that her ability to recover was at a very fast rate. So here's a kid that's going out and she's practicing very, very hard, and then you take her out and then boom, she recovers very quickly. So that means that she can go back into competition, you know, and perform at that same high rate in a more efficient manner than a lot of kids could.
The key to who she is just the intensity with which she does things. She's not a kid that's going to do it halfway. She's going to go as hard as she can in all scenarios, in all situations, with all challenges. And the best thing about that is that it raises the level of everybody else on the team.
I think I've always had this. Don't really get tired when I'm playing and just have that energy just to keep going. Pretty much played every position but center this year. Just when someone's in foul trouble or needs a break, they just kind of push me to that position. When I'm a point guard, I look to push and transition and just try to get easy baskets. When I'm a shooting guard, just look to attack the basket.
Left side of the lane and kisses it in off the glass.
Well, power forward, I have my speed. You know, when a post is guarding me, I'm able to take him out on the perimeter and take him to the basket.
Rebound, rebound, rebound! Finish! Finish! Yeah! Yes! Yes! Credit this team. I thought, you know, wearing Virginia out. You know, I thought you could start to see that separation really late in the first half and then throughout the second half where we extended the lead. And I think based on our conditioning level, physically, as well as with our transition game, really getting up and down the floor. By 2 with Mark, they're 5 today. So that's how quickly it goes by, and like, you know, got easy by about age 4. Oh, today is the boy's birthday. Turned 5 years old. Man, 5 years ago, obviously delivering twins.
You know, I thought back, and you know, it was 5 years ago today that these guys were born, and you know, on that day, Tyler was pretty much asleep in my lap, you know, for a big part of that day. So I thought it was really appropriate when he slept on my lap during the game today. So it was a pretty cool feeling. It doesn't happen often anymore.
Hey, Coach. Hey, we got the boys on TV.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You're the one that was wiped out, exhausted.
No, we got them
from all his
separately
friends?
both. So we got one wiped out in
good.
Grandma's arms, one wiped out in Daddy's arms. So they're going to go. They look real excited for their birthday.
Too much fun. Our team just had a terrific weekend, and what a better way to end the weekend with a dominating win against Virginia. Thank you so much. All right. Yeah, I like the sweatshirt. That's awesome. Go Maryland.
Thanks.
In the locker room, we actually had a couple of birthdays this weekend from Lauren and Tierney. So Tierney's mom was nice enough to bring us a piñata in the shape of a turtle, obviously. So we kind of hung up a little contraption to get the piñata to actually hang up in the air.
The piñata being hung up was like a 10-minute process.
We definitely have enough injuries to go around. We try not to put players in any more questionable circumstances.
Just push the 2 panels here.
But when you need to get something high up in the air and you got 6'6" in the room, it's hard to argue with that. So we tried to get Essence up and then realized that wasn't a good idea. So we brought her back down off the chair.
So I'm glad we didn't end up going with that. But we ended up putting strings across the locker room, hanging on doors of cabinets. It didn't look safe either. It was didn't look well constructed.
A little more challenging than we thought it'd be, but we finally got it to work.
Great game. They did blindfold Lauren and Tierney, and they felt like they needed to swing like a baseball more than a piñata downward swing, so that was kind of scary.
And our girls definitely should not be baseball players.
Blindfolded teammates swinging with no fear of hitting anything is not good, and our lives were in danger for a few moments there.
They put a blindfold on my face, and then they had to turn us in circles. I was kind of weird. I was kind of scared because I didn't want to have a clumsy moment and fall or get dizzy or something.
Tianna hitting piñata, you can always count on her. When she's gonna hit, she's gonna hit hard.
I mean, they just said try to break it, so you got to do it by any means. So that's what I did. My plan was just to hit it as hard as I can the first time, but it didn't break. So then the second time it finally broke, and I broke the stick too. So it was pretty fun.
Always count on Tianna to throw that punch.
I just got a little bit of double bubble gum and some peppermints. I'm not supposed to be chewing gum because of my braces, but I like it. I love gum, so I had to get some.
I went for the organic fruit roll-ups, I think they were.
I got a fruit flat and a lollipop.
There were some raisins in there. There was also some gum, so those were the hot commodity. But if you go in now, the raisins are still sitting on the floor.
All in on 3. 1, 2, 3.
All in.